Hey everybody, I'm Katie, and welcome to Head of the Class. I'm joined today by Mrs. Lee Suttorp, one of Freedom Project Academy's teachers who teaches in the junior high and the high school. Mrs. Suttorp joined FPA in 2016 and teaches in both the math and history departments. Mrs. Suttorp, your background is in computer technology and business management. Many people would decide to go into the business field specifically, but you became a teacher within these fields, and you added world geography as a subject area you teach. What led you to the decision to be a teacher in these fields?
Well, they are very diverse, aren't they? Well, the business, I'll address that first, how that came to be. I actually began in my 20s working in college, and I was fortunate enough to start teaching, and I discovered that I like teaching. I'm actually kind of good at this path. And so I stuck with that. I taught low-level Microsoft courses dealing with the business program. I was involved with the business program. And then that just led me to then pursue a degree in business. I have a business management undergraduate degree in that. But I still like teaching. It wasn't so much that I was wanting to direct it into owning a business. So that could have been a possibility my husband and I have thought of. But I wanted to expand teaching in business. So that's the good match with FPA, with business math and consumer math. The geography connection is the homeschool co-op that I was involved with when my child was in her younger years, and I became the parent teacher for geography courses, and I love it. Love geography. I love diverse cultures, learning more about our world. I love science, so geography, of course, delves a little bit into that. I taught general geography. I've taught United States geography, and even in my master's program, I have a master's degree in online education, and I used a geography lesson for that capstone project. So I feel very connected in that topic, though I don't have a degree with geography. So that's the reason for the diversity in my courses. So.
In your business and consumer math courses, you teach students real-world math applications. And in world geography, you have the challenge of presenting the world to your students. How do you present these subjects to your students in a virtual classroom setting?
Well, they're different. We have math versus geography, so they're very different topics. So with the math courses, it's just a matter of going through the lesson, summarizing, pulling out the key pieces, talking about the concepts that they're connecting to the real world, right? Taxes, income statements, making budgets for your family, checkbook balancing, investments, those type of topics I discuss. I show occasionally some videos to help connect the students with the math and the topic itself. And then, of course, we cover the math, and I have students engage with the problems to just help enforce the skills. It's very story problem driven, so it's not so much just like you might see in algebra, where it's a lot of just math calculating. They have to really do a lot of connecting to scenarios and how do they use math to solve these real life problems. So that's the expectations you should have in my math classes. Geography is a little different. We cover 3 to 5 countries every class session, and I have students help me with those demographics. They like that. They kind of help participate in that. I do share a lot more videos in my geography classes because I don't think they're really excited to see me drone on and on about the countries. I like to pull in as many outside resources as I can to show them the culture and landscape and interesting things that occur in our world. So, and then we do a lot of review, poll questions, and recently I pulled in an online tool game called Kahoots, and the kids are really liking that. So that's in the classroom what you would see in both of those classes.
Between your lesson planning and your grading, you may not have a lot of spare time, but if you do get some time away, what do you like to do?
Well, somewhat recently in the last few years, my daughter and we have a new dog. It's a mini Aussie, and we've taken on doing dog agility. So we've done a lot of training with our dog, and dog agility is where they run on the ramps and they jump through the hoops, and it takes a lot of practice, and it's great exercise. So that's been kind of the new hobby. I also just enjoy going for walks, and when it's winter time, I enjoy baking.
And you have teaching experience both collegiately and through homeschooling. So what inspired you to make that switch to teach at FPA?
Well, I also, I homeschool my daughter, and she was getting to the higher levels, and I knew, well, I didn't just know. It was a decision to get into some program, and I had a family member that was a part of FPA, and she introduced me to the program, so I looked into it. And so we started as a family. Parent is how I started with FPA, and I was looking to expand teaching more, increase income, if you will. So I really liked what I saw as a parent through FPA, and I have to say, even as an employee now, I am still very, very happy with the staff, the structure, the program. It is just a really excellent team. I've been really pleased on both sides with Freedom Project Academy. So.
Before we wrap up, we're going to do a quick fire question round. So answer the following questions as quickly as you can. What are 5 words to describe yourself?
I'm a Christian. I like to think I'm funny. You might have to ask others. Curious. I'm very curious. I am an introvert, though. That might contradict those. And what else? Cautious.
All right. What are your 4 favorite places to travel to or that you want to visit?
Want to travel probably would be the bigger list than have traveled. Unfortunately, my budget doesn't go bigger. But okay, let me think. The East Coast. My husband and I would love to go to the East Coast. So Washington, D.C. area. We're going to probably in the next couple of years do Grand Canyon. If I could have somewhere to go that would be on the wish list, Australia would be interesting to me. And go completely opposite to that would be Iceland.
Okay. What are your 3 favorite units or topics to teach between business and consumer math?
Favorite. I like what was that, between business and consumer math?
Correct.
The projects they do, I think, are the most interesting. So business, they do tax forms, and they always happen right at the tax season. And then the consumer math is the budget type projects, or I just recently had them do a cooking project where they're converting measurements and stuff. So they like that. So.
Okay. What are your 2 favorite assignments or units in world geography?
I'll go again with projects. I really like projects. They're doing an Asian landmark project right now. So they do a research to that, and now they're going to do a publication on that Asian landmark. And they also could do a commercial recording promoting that landmark. That's sort of an extra credit. So that's kind of hitting my top of my radar there.
All right. And finally, what's one piece of advice you have for your students?
Ask questions. Ask questions. Don't be shy. We are here to, help you. That is our job. So I think shyness is a big obstacle for students. So ask questions.
All right, Mrs. Suttorp, thank you so much for being here. Learn more about our amazing teachers and Freedom Project Academy at fpeusa.org.